Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode Ukraine decided to get themselves more manpower, and that's fine-ish. 4 million's a lot of manpower. I wouldn't mind getting out of this war, but this is Hearts of Iron, and that's not how that works. So we're just going to push forward here. We can certainly defend this choke point basically forever, and I doubt that's the plan, but we need to push up and start doing some actual damage to Ukraine. That needs to be the goal at this moment. So I'm checking in on the logistics situation. This is only a naval base here. So we need to push up to like here or build our own logistics hub. We'll see what ends up happening as we continue to push this. That will be very interesting indeed. I'm going to tell these infantry to attack. That might get us pushed over the edge here to continue to push here. They're moving forces in. Commit. What happens if we hard commit? They just keep trickling forces in here and there. But we are making some progress here, I feel like. I don't know. That tank division kind of messed things up for us a bit. Okay. Well, it's fine. We can continue to work our way through this. Now, what's our current situation on land forts? Oh, yeah. We definitely want to build some land forts here. I'm also thinking we may want to put a supply hub here. This will take a while to build. It'll be slowed down by them attacking us. But I feel like we want to have a logistics hub up this direction. So let's get some rail going in here. Let's get a logistics hub at least started. And we'll see how that goes. And we'll get our land forts built up here so that hopefully we'll be able to... Okay, there's a level of land fort already. Hopefully we'll be able to hold this with no real problem and trade very well in terms of manpower. Because we're going to need to trade well. We're going to need to do very well on that because manpower is absolutely a concern for us. So we'll see how that goes, but for now, these attacks are kind of failing, and I'm thinking about halting this attack for the moment. So we can just hang out here for right now. They have major logistics issues as well, though. So that is absolutely a concern there. We do have a logistics hub going in, but it's way back. This logistics hub is actually very close to being done. I forgot about this. Hang on. We're building a logistics hub right here. So that's fine. We're going to have that done soon. 22 November. I completely forgot about this. I knew we were building the naval base, but I didn't know we were putting in the full logistics hub here. Okay, perfect. That's pretty ideal. So these guys are just kind of hanging out here right now, and I think we just let this be for the moment. If they want to attack us, that's absolutely fine. In fact, that's delightful. I'm assuming they're going to be done with their mobilization fairly soon here, but they're definitely still mobilizing up. Yeah, they're definitely still mobilizing. So that's understood. For the moment, it's unfortunate, but we need to continue to push up this choke point here. But them attacking into us here is pretty ideal right now. So I'm just waiting out until we get this logistics hub, which will be in 2 days, and then we'll be in a much better position up this way. So this is our naval base here, and we should have our logistics hub here now as well, in theory. I think. Was that a logistics hub going in down this way? No, this should be correct. There's this logistics hub here and this logistics hub here, but they don't really matter all that much. At this point, we're going to resume our attack here. Just get in here, buddy. There you go. So we're resuming the attack, but this is with our... Really? There's some infantry units in here? I didn't expect that. I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to move these guys into here, like that. Okay. So these are going to be set to frontline right up over here, like this. And that'll bring in some additional infantry here. That's fine. So this is a preferred tactic. We can definitely go for something like elastic defense. That'll be reasonably fine. Or even tactical withdrawal would not be ideal. We're going to go for elastic defense. Okay. So we're going to continue pressing in over this direction. That'll be fine. And these are just these tank units for the time being. I'd like to have more tanks here, but these infantry will have to do for now. So these guys are going to go into a reserve for the moment, and that seems good. And yeah, I'd very much like to have more tanks here. Actually, there's 22 tanks here. We can grab 21 of them and move them here. There we go. There were definitely some things that got messed up here at some point. That's fine. We can just get them corrected, and it's not a big deal. So that all seems good for right now. We'll get some additional tanks up over here. This is back up to 72 divisions at this moment. And I'm going to grab this single armored division. We're going to put this in as a new army here, and we're going to give it a general. And there we go. Perfect. So we're going to continue to work on attacking up over this direction. I don't know that a logistics hub actually properly went in over here. I'm going to start this logistics hub right here again. It's going to take it a long time to build. We'll see if that becomes an actual thing or not. But we're making steady progress over here. I want to check in on the Ukrainian manpower. It's probably 5 million by now. Yeah, 5.5. Okay. Noted. I mean, they're on service by requirement, so that's understood. Keep in mind, they are at almost the same level. They're slightly higher than we are in terms of their mobilization. Very slightly. But they're taking significant penalties for it that we aren't taking for their other production. So we're just going to keep pushing here, and we're hoping to push up through this choke point relatively soon. It's going to be a bit tough. It's a couple of mountain provinces here, and we can only attack from one side. We could think about a naval invasion across this way and invading Crimea, which is an interesting idea. That's a very interesting idea. I'm going to start that, and we are going to grab our reserve fleet here. We're going to make a new navy out of it. And there's not a huge amount of ships there, but we're going to have that come over and patrol in the Black Sea. So for now, that'll be fine. We could certainly think about getting these guys up in the Black Sea as well. And I'm going to do exactly that. So we'll get them on their way up. That'll be fine. No accessible regions. Ah. Because we can't go through the Bosporus Strait or the Dardanelles at this moment. And that makes sense. Z30 we would need access through. They're communist at this moment. We could try to just improve relations with them, which I'm going to do for now. I want to check to see here who controls these, actually. It's neutral. Okay. So, who's this down over here? This is Z13. I want to improve relations with these guys. I want to improve relations with Thrace. And I'm going to improve relations with Athens as well. These guys are basically all communist. These guys are democratic, but we're going to work on that, and that might give us the ability to punch through here and get some navy up this way. That would be the dream. We'll see if it ever happens. So yeah, these guys have assigned regions, but they can't get there right now. We can't have armies passing, we can't have navies passing, and we can't have submarines passing at this moment. So we'll work our way up in opinion there for a little while, and hopefully that'll be good enough. I don't know if we need any specific things here, like, I don't think... Docking rights is not that far away. We might be able to get those as well. We'll see. Now, this is not going to launch without us having supremacy here, and that's not surprising. It's going to take a while to get that done anyway. So that all sounds good for now. Our supplies up over here, still not great. And how's our logistics hub going here? 14 March. Okay, so we're about 3 months away. That's fine. We've got too many units here. I think that's very, very clear. So I'm going to pull some of these guys off of this order. I feel like, yeah, I want to pull these guys off of this order. And we're going to have them make a new army group out over here. So this is down to only 24 divisions. This is a temporary army group. And they're just going to area defend this area right down here, not up here. This area right down here. Something about like that. So we're going to pull these guys back for supply reasons. There we go. So we're reducing our number of tanks here. These guys, I want them to attack, but we're going to need to let them regenerate their organization a little bit. And their supply status, not fantastic. We're not surprised about that, though. This naval base, not the best at this, and we are interested in trying this attack, actually. Hang on. This is a hard maybe. Let's see what happens here. We gave up on it. Okay, that's fine. I'm not that concerned about it. For now, that's okay. I do want to get this Crimean attack going, and to that end, I'd love to have access through these. So we're just trying to make friends with everybody who is... Actually, I don't think Athens has anything to do with this. We're just trying to make friends with everybody who controls the Dardanelles and the Bosporus Strait at this moment so that we can push our way up through here with our navy. And that will give us a big advantage, actually, if we can do that. So that'll be phenomenal. It is currently 2 February, and we just got these 2 infantry divisions. Okay, we'll put them into our reserves for now because we don't need them elsewhere. So that sounds good for the moment. And how are we doing on our production? So we've actually got tanks stockpiled at this point. We do still need a lot of mechanized equipment. That's noted. But with the war quieting down, we should be making our way through our deficit of mechanized equipment, and that should be absolutely fine. 18.09 per day is not a huge amount, but it'll do. So that seems good for now. And these guys, they're preparing their invasion despite the fact that we don't have Navy up there just yet. Eventually, we'll hopefully get there. And the dream here is that these guys get a bunch of opinion of us, which is currently plus 90. So that's not bad. They wouldn't give us docking rights, even with plus 90 opinion. Okay, they have strategic reasons to be hostile to us. Well, that's unfortunate. We could build ships in the Black Sea. Theoretically. Can we choose where our ships get deployed? I know our ships are terrible. They're absolutely awful, but can we choose where they get deployed? I don't think so. So that's going to be a little bit awkward for sure. Well, it's 1 March right now. So let's just give it a little bit. We need to go until 15 March before this is completed, and that'll be absolutely fine. I want to check infrastructure. We definitely want some infrastructure there. Anywhere else? Actually, yeah, we could certainly use some infrastructure down this way. So we'll get all of that underway anyway. That seems good. And it's 7 March right now, so we're going to be finishing up this logistics hub in just a couple of days. They've not been attacking us, and their supplies are awful. And that's exactly what we want to see. 4 more days at this point. One of these days, and that day is in 2 days. Perfect. So another thing we can do, of course, is we can build anti-air in all of these locations just to give them some attrition on their planes. They are sending planes in missions in Africa, so I think we're absolutely interested in doing this, but as a fairly low priority at this moment. So we can also build anti-air up over this direction, which is fine. We can also start building radar, which might not be a bad idea either. So if we were to do this, I'd like to build radar definitely in some of these areas, right up over here. And I'd also like to think about building some radar like down here, but for the moment, I think this will do. So we'll get that done, and we're going to have our logistics up here right now. We just finished up our nuclear submarine, so that's absolutely wonderful. We've got additional special projects that we can do, and let's do all of those. Excellent. We also have a facility with an unassigned scientist. Oh, okay. We're going to have to recruit one, and this is... Hang on. No, we need Terza here. Okay, there we go. Looks good. We do have this doctrine available. May as well take it. Seems fine. And we have some military-industrial traits that we can put in. Sure, might as well. Max speed or air defense. We're going to take the air defense. There we go. And then out over this direction, we'll get some more work on that in a moment. Okay, so now we have this logistics hub right here. That gives us a lot more supply in theory. We still have too many troops here, I think. And that's understood. So we've got these two armies here. I'm going to pull this army. I want to delete all orders of the currently selected army, and I'm going to pull this army back. We've got too many forces here still. We're going to keep just 2 armies here. So we're going to pull them back. That'll be fine. And that makes our attrition situation much better. So this guy is going to be assigned over to... What is this army? Oh, that's that. Okay. Yep, you're going to be assigned right there. Perfect. So now we're beginning to attack this again. That's excellent. Our supplies are still tight here. We still have a lot of troops in this very narrow passageway. But we need to open things up a little bit here, and that'll be absolutely fine to do. Commit to this a little more, please. Commit to it a lot more. So we just got that. That's perfect. And we'll just keep pushing them if we can. I'm going to have these guys also assist in this attack. Seems great. And I don't know what's up with these guys. They can just back off. They don't have orders assigned right now, so they can just leave. Don't be eating up supplies in this area. One thing we do definitely want to be doing here, of course, is building our land forts here. That is actually a much higher priority than all of this. So we'll get that going immediately. Perfect. So our radar over here will at least give us intel on the Black Sea, but we're not going to see the enemy supremacy. Well, we do see the enemy supremacy. We're not going to see ourselves getting any supremacy here, unfortunately. So that is very sad. I'd very much like to push through the Bosporus Strait. We may end up having to, like, declare war on these guys. I don't know. We could certainly fabricate on Thrace. They're an integrated puppet of the Golden Horde. That's a problem for us because we don't want to open up a front with the Golden Horde while we're also fighting Ukraine. So for the moment, I'm going to say no to that idea. But we could come down and attack. This is Z13 here that we'd want to take over. Okay. It's definitely something to think about. No doubt about that. I think for now, though, we are making progress through this choke point. It's not fast, but it's progress nonetheless. So I think for the moment, this is fine. Infantry, get up here. Okay, Ukraine is continuing to break our ciphers. That's not very surprising. We'll grab invisible ink for now. That'll be okay. And are we expecting to push this anytime soon? Whoa. How did we just get vision on all this? Okay, well, we now have vision on a lot of what Ukraine is doing in this area. I'm not sure what happened there, but we don't know exactly the numbers of units here, but we know that they are frontlining against the Golden Horde. So that's eating up a lot of their manpower. They have a very long border with the Golden Horde. Good to know. We're just going to continue to push in here for now. I want to check in. We're net positive on our manpower right now. So I want to check in on Ukraine's. Okay, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. We may want to consider going down to service by requirement ourselves. But I don't want to take that factory output malice. The others I don't care about that much. The construction speed, the dockyard, that's fine. The factory output, I don't want to take that. We're net positive on our manpower right now. So I think for the moment, we don't do that unless we hit 0 manpower or very close to it. Unless we're on track to hit 0 manpower. So I think for now, this is fine. Our main issue is just we have this massive choke point here. And we just need to widen out this choke point. If we can get ships into the Black Sea, though, that would be absolutely enormous for us. So I'd really, really like to get some decent relations with Thrace here. But that's not the only one that we would need good relations with. So they're an integrated puppet of Golden Horde. I wonder if we need to improve relations with Golden Horde. We'll do that for now. We'll get working on it. We've got plenty of political power, right? I'm not concerned about that. So we've got this out over here. We're at 100 here. And these guys, they're not willing to give us docking rights. We've got these guys up over here. They're not willing to give us docking rights either. I'm not sure docking rights is actually what we would need. But they don't want to let us into the Black Sea. So that's very rude of them. Very rude indeed. But it's not strictly speaking necessary. So for now, it seems relatively fine. We'll continue to work on this. We'll get some plastic explosives going. Cool. So the war with Ukraine is very small scale right now. We are seeing that the world tension is not dropping. We're also seeing that we're currently pushing this. If we can push out beyond this mountain tile, this one is a hill tile and will be easier for us to push. Let's try committing to this and see what happens. They're moving reinforcements down, kind of. Emphasis on kind of. We now have numbers on all this, by the way. So I guess our intel is getting better. So that's interesting. I don't know that we'd actually be able to land here, but it would be interesting for sure. I'd like to try it. But as of right now, because we can't get Navy in through the Dardanelles and the Bosporus, this is going to be almost impossible to actually do a landing up over here. But that's fine. We don't actually hate that. So as of right now, we're working on pushing our way in here. If this mountain tile falls, we'll be in a much better position. Like a wildly better position. Now, checking in here, I want to check specifically on our mechanized equipment. This seems to be net positive, and we're stockpiling a lot of tanks at this moment. We have almost 10,000 tanks in our stockpile. So that's very, 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 very good. We're delighted by that. Of course, we've got our troops just kind of spread out over a bunch of areas at this moment because we just can't focus our troops in this area. There's just nothing we can do about that. I don't suppose we got infrastructure up here. Nope, we did not. Okay. So they can't really push us, and we're struggling to push them. It's not impossible for us to push them. Actually, the radar might be why we got all this intel, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. We're going to be pushing these eventually. They are going to be pushed out of here at some point. The question is, what is that point? We're struggling. Let's get our infantry in. And that does boost us up to 89. They're not currently moving additional reinforcements in, although I bet they will. But if we can take this point, like I said, it's much easier after this. Everything up over this direction, the terrain is so much easier for us to move into. So if we can take this tile and reinforce, or rather, if we can take this tile and dig in on it, get our fortresses going, that's going to be very tough for them to uproot us. They're sending reinforcements in, which is unsurprising. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't stop them. We can just keep pushing. Their Alpine troops are very close to breaking. So I think we just need to keep the pressure on here, and I am noting our manpower going down at this moment, which is not ideal. And the Ukrainian manpower, I think they're fully mobilized at this point. They're almost certainly going down as well. I mean, they've lost at a 3-to-2 ratio their number of troops, so that's pretty decent anyway. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about pushing them out of this singular tile. That's the only point of the episode. If we get that done, then it's glorious. If not, well, this would be the backup plan, but this is never actually going to execute, so that's going to be exciting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.